Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. My name is Emma, Complit grad, filmmaker, and as you can hear, I'm fighting off the last of a cold. Bear with, this is just how my voice is for this. So today I'm setting up my third, would you believe it, my third bullet journal. This system really seems to work for me. And with this being my third journal, I have now figured out what does work for me really well. And yeah, what doesn't? It's all a work in progress. I just really enjoy that you can be so flexible and forgiving with this, that you can just make it work for you. It's working so well for me. I'm quite obsessed. This year I've once again gone for a papier journal. This one has little suns on it. It's actually by the same artist as my last one is, and it's got my little name on it, Emma, and Bullet Journal 2023. In my last journals I was using these fine liners a lot, and I've decided no more. I'm replacing them with a blue biro. This is a grown-up girl pen. It's also papier, but the filling inside I swapped out for a blue one. So first things first, because this is a very functional object, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna crack the spine. Oh yeah, the whole, all the way through. I've also got my other colourful fine liners and my highlighters for this. When I was figuring out my layout, I actually just went through and I added different post-it notes to try and organise what I wanted, whereabouts I wanted them, and what pages I wanted together. So let's start with a bit of decoration. This is my 2023 page. Enjoy this time-lapse of Mia, I can only describe as Bob Rossing it badly. Yeah, I like it, and that's all that matters. This is not one of those journals that is incredibly beautiful and artistic. This is mine. It's functional, realistic, enjoyable, colourful minimalism. That's what we're going for. It's a sunset and some trees, if anybody was wondering. Next up is my quotes page. I'm actually going to leave this page blank for the moment. As you can see, last year I kind of stuffed it. So this year I'm going to be a bit more patient. I'm going to find a good quote and then I'm going to do it properly. So let's just start with my details page. On here, we're just going to put my name, my number, and my email. So if I ever lose this bad boy, it'll find its way straight back to me. So again, in order to define my style, should we go with monochromatic minimalist? Not really minimalist at all. Lazy girl bullet journal minimalism. Next up is my 2023 resolutions page. Last year it looked like this. It had a lot of resolutions. A lot of them I didn't do. One of my resolutions is to have less resolutions, but at the time of writing I actually hadn't decided on them yet, so that's why this one is blank. But you know, we'll fill it eventually. And look at that very cute little 2023 border. Oh, look at it. That I think was a genius stroke for this year's design. Big fan, big fan. Next we have the bullet journal staple, the future log. I do mine very, very simply. I do not do any of the mini calendars. They drive me berserk. Nobody uses them. I split this 2-page spread up into 12 columns. I have recurring dates every year at the top, things like birthdays, anniversaries. Then at the bottom, what I'll do is any big dates coming up in the future, I'll write them on down there. So the idea essentially is that they'd meet in the middle. Next up, I'm adding a new page for me. This is just a page of all of my dates for 2024 and so forth. As I got to the end of my current journal, I started needing a place to write dates going forwards for next year. So that's what I'm anticipating this page will be for. I'm sure I'll use it a lot more towards the end of this year. But you know, looking forwards. This next page again is sort of looking forwards, but this is what I'm going to call a lesson log. At the moment, I'm doing a lot of volunteering, I'm having a lot of driving lessons. I was just having a conversation with a friend about signing up for wine tasting lessons, like a course for that. So we're doing a lot of those sorts of things and making sure they fit around my life. So this is what my little lessons log here is for. Putting on the different types of lessons, and then also just a little spot for where I can tick them off once I've done the lesson. Some of you will know I'm super big on trying to be more mindful and all of that kind of things. So this little spread here is going to be for one side, my personal sort of goals rather than my resolutions. And then I'm going to do a 2023 monthly reflection sort of thing. I'm splitting up this page into 12 different sections. It's going to be for each month, and every single month will have I am and I will be. And the intention will be that I can fill those out, and then over a course of a year, I can sort of see like how my mood and feelings are fluctuating. I am tired, I will be more organised, etc., etc. Like I said, this page is more of an objective sort of thing. I'm splitting up into personal and, sorry Emma, what was that word?
I knew that looked wrong. I realised that did not make it any better.
I guess I should add learn to spell onto my list of objectives, but you know, I'm dyslexic, we're on 24 years, you know, it's not getting any better, guys, it's not getting any better. On here again are some pretty basic things, you know, pass my practical driving test, update my CV, like big things, but very important big things, but just need to get done. Like I said, I'm a big fan of using my journal to also try and be more mindful. So this page, I'm adding on journal prompts. I added this into my journal last year, and then every once in a while, I would just go into the journal, pick a prompt, and write out whatever I needed to discover that part of myself. And this year I have actually filled in 18 whole prompts, and I've also on the side given myself a little spot to tick off whether I've done one or not, because I want to know if I've completed them when I'm looking through at a glance. On this page, I'm going to go ahead and do a silly little quotes page. I tried doing this in my last journal as like a random page, and you know, I forgot to start filling them in. But yeah, I'm quite a big fan of this quotes page. I didn't think I was initially. I was like, why have I decided to do this? But it's quite funky. And as this video suggests, it is a setup video. So a lot of these pages aren't necessarily finished yet, but they are now, or they will be eventually. But right now, you know, it's not as important. It's more, you can see where I'm going with this. Next up is my resit checklist. I've struggled a lot towards the end of last year, so I've decided to split this checklist up into 3 sections. Daily things, weekly things, and monthly things I can do to both feel like I'm resetting my life, my body, my mind, my soul, all of those kind of things. From, you know, having a cup of tea, to going for a run, to deep cleaning my apartment, to spending time with others. These are just things that, you know, are good for your body and soul. This This next page is a little floor plan. I'm currently redoing my room, so what I'm going to do in here is do an accurate floor plan with measurements and all this kind of things, a good old technical drawing, if you will, of my bedroom to make sure that when I'm ordering stuff, A, I don't need to remeasure things a million times, and B, I have it to hand. I had it already in my last notebook. It's so useful. Okay, so this double spread is probably one of the most useful ones that I've got in my entire thing. It's a passwords page. Super simple to do. You just split up the page into 3 columns. They will be your account, your username, and then your password. It's really simple. It's just a grid and you just fill it in as you go along. This has saved my ass so many times, like you would not believe. Okay, and those are all my sort of setting up 2023 pages. Next up is how I'm going to do my monthly spread. This is how I was doing my monthly spreads last year. This is January. And this still works super well for me. I'm a big fan of having my goals and then underneath my reflections, key dates, terms. I'm not going to do these small calendars anymore because they take forever. I don't use them. They just look aesthetic, but also they're not worth the amount of effort that they require. So we're ditching that. And also it's fun because like the exact specifications of each one have kind of changed month to month. But again, that's why a bullet journal is fun. You adapt it to your needs and you just keep it interesting. One of the things I won't be doing in this journal is I'm not going to be doing a habit tracker and a mood tracker like I did last year. The reason is I wasn't finishing them. They take forever to set up, and now what I've done instead is I'm using an app on my phone and on my watch to track all of the habits that I would be doing on here. Essentially, habit tracking is a system that works for me, but the setup is just so much, so we've gone digital. And woo, 2023. The next 2 pages on from my monthly setup, from the January setup, will be a brain dump and a gratitude log. I really like the gratitude log. Last year it was at the end of a month. Now I'm going to move it right to the beginning, and I'm going to put this brain dump opposite it purely so I can just any notes for that month. There they go. But yeah, big fan of the gratitude logs. They're just kind of funny, honestly, because it's such a weird, small glimpse into your soul, being like, what were you, grateful for the day? There's one day where I had palm ham written down. I was like, what? Why was palm ham the thing I was most grateful for? But like, fucking hell, it must be some really good palm ham. I do just think it's a very sweet concept, and it's so nice, by the way, when you just reoccurringly see, one of your friends or a different friend, and it's very sweet. I'm a big fan. And also these are super duper easy setups to do. Okay, weekly spread time, here we go. I'm going to use the same system I've essentially been using for 3 years now for my weekly spreads. I'll do the days on one side of a spread in 5 different boxes, and I split the weekend box in 2, and then I just have notes on the other side. This works so well for me, and it's so simple. Now flipping to the back of the journal, I'm going to add a dates for later. Essentially exactly the same thing as my 2024 log, but as I go through this journal and have December right at the end, I want this page to just be able to write dates on, but we'll go into my next journal. At the back of my journal, I will also add another one of these. what are they called, like kabuki boards? Something like that. Essentially, this is a spread where I write down all of my video ideas that I'm working on and then have the section of work that I'm at split up so that I can just keep track of what I have done and how much I still need to do. And this year, it's purple. I'm also putting it at the back just because then I can find it much more easily. It's so much easier to flip through. It was somewhere in the middle of all of my stuff last year, and that's just not very efficient. And there we go. Bullet journal setup, filmed. So yeah, here's my journal from last year. As you can see, I go through phases of using it where it literally holds together every single part of my life. And then I also go through phases where I just, for weeks on end, I won't use it at all. This is why I love so much, but this is something that I'm doing myself. It keeps me so invested in the journal. I can change it up to make it suit me completely. And, if I ignore it for a bit, I don't feel guilty about it. It's like, oh, well, I know. What a shame. What a shame. And also means that I can try new spreads. I'm just a really big fan. I really, really love it. And it has done so much for me. You have no idea. But yeah, there we go. That is my journal for 2023. Let me know if this is your bullet journal or if this one is your first one. If you're going to go ahead and make any of these spreads, or like what kind of pages work really well for you. What do you really enjoy? Let me know. I personally am all about pretty functionality. But yeah, tell me what you guys are up to. I'm curious. So yeah, happy bullet journaling and a very happy 2023. Like, subscribe and all that jazz, and I will hopefully see you guys very, very soon. Bye bye.